Hi there, welcome to this video on how to perform the Stalder press, or how I prefer to call it, the Endo press, because this is a Stalder on high bar and this is an Endo on high bar. So actually a Stalder would be straddling, rolling back and going handstand, but just for the purpose of everybody calling it Stalder, I will call it a Stalder press as well. There are a couple of prerequisites that you need in order to, easily perform the Stalder press, or easily start training it at least. A decent handstand and a standing press. I don't care how often you can press. If you are content with being able to do a standing press 2 or 3 times in a row, that's fine. You don't need to be able to do it indefinitely 25, 30 times in a row. Although more volume is better. It's going to be easier for you to attempt this if you have a higher volume of repetitions for the standing press. So, a couple of preparation exercises. We already did the foam roller one for the standing press, the one you roll on your hamstrings and you push your shoulders through. That still rings through for this one because hip compression is still a pretty big deal. However, flexibility on your hips and your legs, your hamstrings, is going to be equally important. So we're going to start off with pancake good mornings. Now this is an exercise I do every single training. I go to the gymnastics club. This is how I warm up as well. This makes sure that everything's nice and actively stretched. There's no use in taking a weight and putting it on behind your back and doing this for 15 minutes. That's going to make you flexible in a certain way, but it will not create active flexibility. So what you want to do is you want to take a straddle sit, a nice little straddle sit, not too wide, not, split wise, but take a straddle sit that you can hold actively. You're going to put your arms to the side, and you're going to go as deep as possible. And if this is kind of your limit, you stop here, and then you come back up. Make sure you don't arch your back, try to pull your belly button in. And you go as far as you can go. If you can go to the ground, that's fine. And then come back up. Try to keep your spine as straight as possible during these exercises. So, here you can see it from the side. Got a pretty wide straddle, but take a straddle that you're comfortable with. I'll take a lesser wide one. Go in front, straight back, and like that. This is going to create active flexibility. This is going to make sure that you're able to hold that flexible, compressed straddle pose when going from the Stalder position or the L-sit position up to handstand. Now to combat this, we need the antagonistic muscle groups to work along with it, or rather against it. You're going to place your hands in the straddle. You're going to place your hands on the ground, around knee height, around where the line of your knees. You're going to press into the ground, keep your back straight, and lift your legs. Try to contract at the top, and slowly bring them down. Like this. If this is too easy, place your hands more in front. You will not be able to lift it that high. So start off around mid-thigh, close to your knee. Do this for a couple of reps until you really feel your upper legs cramping, because it's, again, that compression that we highlighted in the first handstand pressing video. Very important here as well, but you need a lot more active compression and active flexibility to pull off a Stalder press more easily. So try to change out this exercise with the pancake good mornings until everything's nice and loose and warm. The next thing we're going to do is, same thing we did in the other video, is going to focus on a negative. You're going to jump up to a handstand, straddle, push the belly button in, come down. We're not going to place our feet down. We're going to scoop the feet through in front, and we're going to try to end in a reasonable straddle L-sit. Just as an example, handstand, straddle, belly button in, keep those shoulders aligned, compress, 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 and you end in a nice straddle L-sit. Now, this will again highlight the more difficult parts of this move. And it's the lower parts. It's the parts where you're almost there. That's the heaviest part. That's the most difficult part of the entire thing. Now, with the standing press, it's just a matter of reversing the negative. It's, okay, you're coming down from the negative, you're putting your feet down. And to do the press, it's the exact opposite. For the Stalder press, however, there's a slight hack that you can use to your advantage. So allow me to demonstrate. For a regular Stalder L-sit, you know, what we've been taught in gymnastics clubs for years and years and years is, okay, sit in a straddle, put your hands down, and you've got a Stalder sit, a Stalder L-sit, like this. Easy, right? Well, not exactly. I always struggled with this, and I found a way around it. I found a way to, you know, have my flexibility work for me, you know, in order to combat the lack of strength in my abs many, 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 many years ago. So instead of placing your hands a little narrower than shoulder width, which is what you see in a lot of gymnastics clubs. You see a lot of people doing Stalder presses or straddle L-sits like this. You want to have it shoulder width or even a little wider. So this is the first thing that's going to help. Put it shoulder width or a little wider. That's going to help you get a more decent Stalder sit or straddle sit. Next thing what you want to do is you want to get your legs as high up your arms as possible. Not just because it's an easier straddle sit, but it's going to play to your advantage when doing the press. So let me just show you from the side view. Regular classic L-sit. Place your hands down. That's cramping up pretty fast. Now, what you want to do, and this is just an easy way to set it up, you can do it more elegantly if you want. You want to place your hands behind your feet. You want to lock your legs against your shoulders. You want to straighten your arms into that support. And there you go. This is a much more sustainable way of doing the straddle sit. And furthermore, because your legs are higher up your arms, you will hinge this. You will use this as a hinge in order to pivot towards that pressing motion. Because if you start from that very low straddle L-sit, you've got the entire way up. And it's possible, it works. A lot of people do it. I do it too. But in order to learn and to progress a little faster, you can use this hack. So first let me show you the classical normal L-sit straddle Stalder lift. So normal low one. So there you go, that works. You know, you can see there's the curve you need to follow with your bum. You go up, you try to get your bum as close to your shoulders as possible, as fast as possible. But now look at the difference if I do the hack. There's a lot less effort involved in that second one. Why? Because I use my elbows and my legs as a pivot point. I use this pressure to get my bum up a little faster, and as soon as I clear my legs off the floor, it's pretty much a standing press. So there's a lot less effort involved in lifting your legs up. Now, as far as progressions are concerned, I would say do both. You know, do the low and the high hacked straddle sit, but try to get your legs as far as possible. And you can mark that with, you know, with a yoga block or anything. You can say, okay, I'm going to, got my yoga block here. You can say, okay, I'm going to do the straddle L-sit and I'm going to lift my legs as far as possible until I have to put them down. That. There you go. As soon as you can clear the line of your hands, so you can use this as a marker, so you know, okay, I can go further, further, further. As soon as you clear the lines of your hands, you have to actively press open your hands, because that's the point where you need to press your bum above your hands and close that straddle into the handstand. Now it's a lot easier with the hacked one, just that progression of tilting your legs up. That. And I'm already pushing down in order to progress to that next part, which is the standing press, which we already highlighted. So yeah, these are a couple of tips and tricks. Repetition is key. Just do a lot of repetitions of this. Try to not get, too overzealous, because, your wrist can only take so much. And enjoy the process, even if you can get your legs a centimeter further every single day or every single time you train, that's a little victory. And don't worry if you can't, just focus a little more on the preparation, focus a little more on the pancake good mornings, focus a little more on these sitting leg lifts. So yeah, hope this little video helps. Hope to make more follow-up videos like this one, and good luck.